said it was going to be bad, but this is beyond beyond. 1, 2, 3.
Geez, it's really close.
You sleep?
I don't know. Kinda hard. What's that banging?
I don't know. Something's loose out there.
What are you doing?
Trying to write.
What's the point? You shouldn't touch me.
You feel a little warm.
I don't have a fever. I just took my temperature with that thermometer thingy.
Thank God.
I hate that thing. Makes me feel like I'm shooting myself in the head. Maybe that's not such a bad idea.
Hey.
It would be fast, at least. None of this suffocating to death.
Breathe in. Don't use too much. That's our last bottle.
I don't want to be here.
I know.
I mean, nothing personal, but...
I can't imagine what it's like having to leave school and not see anyone or go anywhere.
Or do anything.
You're doing really well, you know. 5 stars.
Count our lucky stars, you always say.
Yep. We should count our lucky stars. We have a place to be.
I know. I do. It's just... I'm terrified. I mean, what if I have it and I don't know it? I don't show any symptoms, and then you get it and get really sick, and you're old.
Hey, I'm not that old. We're gonna survive this thing. We're almost done with the quarantine, and then we can relax. Little.
Right.
Go out for groceries.
Woohoo! I dreamed I was on this ship in the middle of the ocean. There's a storm like this one. Huge waves are crashing over the side. There's dead people lined up on the deck, like ready to be buried. The ship tilts. All the dead people start sliding into the sea, their eyes wide open. All of us that are alive are screaming and trying to hold on. The wind is howling. There's nothing to hold on to. We're all mixed together. Chinese, Japanese, Italians, Iranians, Russians, Brazilians, Americans. Dead and alive, sliding into the sea.
Come on. I won't let you go.
Me neither. 1, 2... It's getting closer. Maybe it's the end of the world.
It's gotta stop. Sooner or later, right?
What are you doing?
Writing it down.
That's not what I said.
What?
That's not what I said.
Yes, it is. Close enough.
You make me sound terrified.
Aren't you?
No? Yes? Maybe. You can't put that in there. People will
What?
think I'm
What?
a mess.
No one is going to think you're a mess.
I am a mess.
Everyone is a mess right now. Look at me. I haven't gotten dressed in days. I can't remember the last time I wore a real pair of pants or combed my hair.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Hey. Who cares what anyone thinks anyway?
I do.
You look very nice, by the way, from the waist up.
I have a Zoom class in 15 minutes.
I admire your stick-to-itiveness.
Whatever that is.
You know what it is.
Please don't write about me.
No one will think it's you.
Right. There's nothing to hold on to. We're all mixed together. Chinese, Japanese, Italians, Iranians, Russians, Brazilians, Americans, Somalis. I never said Somalis.
What?
I never said Somalis.
You didn't?
No, I don't even know where Somalia is.
Yes, you do. You drew an entire map of the world for your final in geography.
In 8th grade.
It was beautiful. I was amazed. All the different colors for the different countries. You even drew in the rivers and mountain ranges, all from memory.
Just the major ones.
It was a work of art.
It was a long time ago.
Not that long.
Ancient history. Seems like that world I mapped was a completely different place.
Doesn't it?
What's all that?
Just doing a little research. Plaguing.
Cheery stuff.
Okay. I admit it. My ship is tilting a little bit lately. Like the one in your dream.
Yeah, and everyone's sliding into the sea.
We're all in this together.
If I hear that one more time, I actually might shoot myself in the head.
Hey. One thing I'm getting from all this reading I've been doing is that the human race is very resilient. We've been surviving pandemics and plagues for thousands of years. I never really thought about how hard it must have been every time this happened until now, when it's happening to us. What is it that gets us through the bubonic plague, the Black Death, cholera, yellow fever, chicken pox, world wars, financial collapse, civil unrest, the Spanish flu, AIDS, Ebola, SARS?
Okay, stop. You think we would have figured it out by now?
What?
How to stop a plague?
You think, huh? We imagine ourselves so high-tech, so indestructible.
And then bam, we're locked in our homes, hiding.
Waiting for the storm to pass. Put that, whatever it is, on our fix-it list.
Roger.
In 1665, during the Great Plague of London, warders were sent around to identify the sick and lock them up in their homes with their whole family for 40 days. 40 giorni. Quarantine.
40 giorni.
They'd paint a red cross on the door and post a notice that read, "Lord have mercy on us."
Lord have mercy on us. Oh shit.
Stay back.
What's that?
Stay back.
6 feet. 6 feet.
What's that? I can't hear a thing.
Keep your distance.
Okay, keep your pants on. You really don't need the mask. I'm not contagious anymore.
I don't know who you are or how you got here, but you need to leave now.
Calm down. I'm here to help. I'm fully recovered. People were dropping like flies all around me, and we had a number of cases in our outfit.
You had COVID?
What's that?
COVID-19?
Is that what you're calling this one? That's a terrible name. It's got no ring to it. Ours was called the Spanish flu. So I understand it started in Kansas. It spread around the entire world, just like this, whatever you call it.
COVID-19.
Terrible. You know, in my day, we were advised to keep our windows open. Maybe you should crack a window.
It's pouring rain.
A little rain never hurt anyone. Besides, you gotta keep the air moving through. I came down with it while I was stationed in France during the war. It was October 1918. I started to feel the aches coming, and then the fever. I wish this ringing in my ear would cut it out.
Should we call the police?
Do you think he's dangerous?
We can't tell.
What's that?
We're trying to decide whether or not to call the cops.
Cops? We don't need police here. I've got this. You'll see. So where was I? Well, yeah, I was feeling pretty peaked, so I went to see the company doc. He wanted to evacuate me to base hospital, but I wasn't having it in those shenanigans. The big guys didn't want the word getting out about how sick all us boys were over there. You had to keep everyone focused on winning the war. You can't let panic set in at home. I'd heard about the way they lined everyone up and let them cough all over each other until they died in their beds. No thanks.
Roger that.
What's that?
I hear you.
Good. I seem to have lost all hearing in this ear, though.
Wait.
I asked the doctor for some aspirin and scrounged myself a bottle of whiskey. Found an old blown-up piano in the woods, so I told my buddy Joe, another fellow from Montana. You know, we'd managed to stick together through thick and thin. I told Joe where to find me in case the outfit decided to head out. Took my bedroll and I crawled up in there, where I could be out of the rain at least. I stayed asleep there all that night, the next day, and the next night. Every time I'd wake up, raging with fever, delirious. And I'd take a big swig of whiskey, a couple of aspirin tablets, and I woke up on that second morning. The whiskey was gone, the aspirin was gone too, and I felt pretty good. I crawled out of that poor old piano, and after a good breakfast, I was fit as a fiddle.
Oh my God.
I think it was mainly the whiskey. Good thing, huh? Neither one of you would be here otherwise. You don't recognize me. Maybe it's because I'm so young and handsome. You only knew me as an old man.
Grandpa?
What?
It's Grandpa.
Grandpa's in Florida.
Not your grandpa, my grandpa. Your great-grandpa. He was a lieutenant in the cavalry stationed in France during World War I.
On horseback? No way.
At your service.
I remember you telling me that story about the whiskey and the piano.
What's that?
What are you doing here?
You tell me. I was reliving those last few days in France during the war. It was November 1918. Armistice Day was right around the corner. Scheduled for 11 o'clock on the 11th. Isn't that nifty?
What's Armistice Day?
You know, when everyone lays down their arms and calls it a day. Like teaching you kids.
Nothing. It's all online.
My last post was on the banks of the Meuse-Argonne River.
I know where that is.
Good for you. I was slogging through the rain and mud with Joe. We were singing our song quietly so no one could get a beat on us. We couldn't believe that even though the war was almost over, they were going to keep shelling until the very last minute. It seemed like an awful waste of good men, but none of us were running the army. Felt a funny itch, a tingle, tickle, somewhere deep down in my soul maybe. I grabbed Joe and we hit the dirt. And the shell was right by my ear and the whole world exploded. Yeah, like that. I laid there and thought I was dead. Then I realized I couldn't be dead if I was thinking I was dead. And far off, I heard someone yelling. Calling me maybe. Calling out, "Lord have mercy on us."
That was us.
Then I heard this terrible noise. Yeah, just like that. And here I am. And here you are. We can all count our lucky stars. Except Joe. He wasn't so lucky. He went home in a box on Armistice Day.
Jeez.
What's that?
Jeez.
Gee whiz is right. But you know, the last moment for him was, well, it was happy anyway. We were smiling and singing our song. The one they taught us to sing when we needed a little cheering up. You know the one. Pack up your troubles in your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile. You know that one?
No.
I'll teach it to you. It's pretty simple. Pack up your troubles.
You're kidding.
What's that?
We don't sing.
What do you mean you don't sing? That's your whole trouble right there. You gotta keep singing if you're gonna make it through anything like this. Now sing. Sing! It'll do you a world of good. Pack up your troubles. Come on now.
Pack up your troubles
In your old kit bag.
in your old kit bag.
That's it. And smile, smile, smile. Life's too short to make your spirits drag.
Life's too short to make your spirits drag.
Smile, boys, that's the style.
Smile, boys, that's the style.
What's the use of worrying?
What's the use of worrying?
It never was worthwhile.
It never was worthwhile.
So pack up your troubles in your old kit bag and smile, smile, smile. Now's how you get through it. A little song and dance would be a whole new lease on life, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm done here. Looks like this storm is gonna let up. Carry on.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, wait, you forgot your gas mask.
You hold on to it. It might come in handy, you never know.
Cool. Thanks. Gotta zoom.